Well, James Coover from the Kansas State Research and Extension Office is with us this morning, and he's here to share insights into the crop wheat. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Let's talk wheat.
Yeah, so right now is wheat harvest, right?
Yes.
So the combines are out there. Hopefully it's dried out a little bit. They're out there getting the wheat out.
Right.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is wheat and how do we get the flour from the wheat. And so beginning of the process, the wheat goes to the miller, right? The great big buildings, they're like 5 stories tall. They do all kinds of things in there. And they start off with this, right?
Okay.
Wheat from the field, just wheat. And so when they take the wheat, it's actually separated into 2 different parts. And so this is midds. This is the stuff that they take off the wheat. And so the outside of the wheat is the midds, the bran.
Right.
The inside of the wheat is the endosperm, the flour of the wheat.
Wow.
And so this is actually what we'll feed this to cows. So even though this is where most of the vitamins and minerals are, we separate it out. We take the carbohydrates and protein, and that's what humans eat. And the vitamins and minerals, that's what we feed to the cows. So I don't know, but in the flour, there's different types of flours.
There sure is.
Because there's different types of wheat. And so around here, one of the few places in the country where we grow soft wheat and hard wheat side by side. So here, this is going to be some hard wheat. You see the awns onto it.
Right.
And this is most likely some soft wheat. So there's no awns on there, no little pokey things on the end of that. Now, that's not necessarily always true, but usually around here, if it doesn't have awns, it's soft. If it does, it's hard wheat. Now, different flours, different things you can do with it. So this is pizza flour. It's actually got a little bit of soft wheat in there. And so soft wheat has a lower protein content, which allows you to do stuff with it. And so because it's softer, it doesn't make quite a hard dough, which is why it's called soft and hard wheat.
Very interesting.
And now as we go up, we have, all-purpose flour, which is a low protein, but a little more protein. We have bread flour, which is a higher protein than that because you want a nice hard dough when you're making flour, right? When you're making bread, and even a higher protein. And this is whole wheat flour.
Right.
And so as you can see, whole wheat flour here, it's different than other of these because it actually has the bran in it.
Oh, really?
And that's what makes the difference of whole wheat. It's the entire berry.
A little more of those minerals in there.
Yeah, minerals. And of course, it makes like a denser dough and like a more robust flavor, you could say. But that's how they separate it out between the two. There's all kinds of wheat. There's soft wheat, hard wheat. There's white wheat. And there's also durum wheat.
Okay.
And durum wheat is what we make our spaghettis out of. We grow that stuff up north. But all that stuff together. And it's when you're baking, when you're making stuff, ideally speaking, you want to get the right flour.
Absolutely,
because
you certainly do.
That gluten percentage makes a big difference.
Yes, absolutely. Well, fascinating. And if people want to find out more information about wheat harvest or the Kansas K-State Research and Extension, where can they do so, James?
Yeah, so they can, call any of the Wildcat Extension offices or any extension office, and they can check out online. You have any baking ideas or anything like that, really any extension covers most everything.
Wonderful. Well, as always, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.